Hey there, how's it going? Welcome to LoopLearnings, and this is the next video in the series. We are making inventory management system, and in this video we will continue with the user interface, particularly completing the stock in functionality. We did create something in the last video, and that was to create the stock in records, meaning updating the invoice and the date received and what quantity received information. So in this video, the focus will be to ensure that when we receive the stock, we update the stock due table as well. Why is that? This is what I'm going to show you, and I'm going to explain you in this video. So let's get started. Right, so let's talk a little bit about the workflow. So please bear with me. I have to explain a little bit, and then we will get into the VBA and the good stuff. The reason we have to do the modification, especially in the stock due table, if you will notice, when the stock is ordered, the status will become ordered. But then if we receive the stock against that particular stock due order or against a particular PO, that means we have to capture that record that it has been received. Now it could be, we have ordered 3 pieces and we received 2, so that would be partially completed, right? So if we will come here in the drop down, you will see the statuses partially completed. And if we receive 3 and we ordered 3, so that means we have ordered what we have received what we have ordered, so that means 3 out of 3, so completed. How about there's a third condition, and the third condition is access stock received. So we ordered 3 and we received 4, and in that case, what would be the status? Well, it would still be completed. However, we will capture that as a access quantity, and we can make a separate query to create that alert and give the update to the vendor or supplier, so they get to know that they have sent the access stock. So this is the logical workflow, and this is what we are going to automate in this video. So the moment we click on GRN button, it looks at the quantity in, and then it looks at the quantity due, and if matches, then completed. If less received, then partially completed. And if access received, then still mark it completed. So that's the logic we're going to build. So we're not going to have a separate button to do that. We will automate using the record set and this button. So let's go ahead and go to the design view. And I'm going to close the dashboard for a moment. We'll go to the GRN and ... As I said, we're going to achieve this using the record sets. So let me declare the variable first. So we'll say dim rs due, let's say, as record set, and then we'll say set rs due equal current db dot open record set parenthesis close double quote, and right here we will give the name of the table that we want to update, and the name of the table is stock due t. So we'll come here, stock due t, and then we are going to write db open dyn set. Great. So declare the variable. Now we'll scroll down till the end, and we'll come here after the GRN is marked as completed, and we'll come here, and here we are going to define that logic. Okay. What we are going to do is we are going to say if and then lots of if and then conditions will be used. But first, we are going to point out to the record that we are going to update. So for example, if we are updating this record and the status should be updated for this record, that means we have to first point to this record. And we do that using a one-liner. You can see here, we have done that for the RS update as well. I'm not going to copy and paste. I'm going to type the code. And the code would be rs due dot find first. And what are we finding first? Well, we are finding the stock, for example, the stock due ID. This is what we are finding. And the stock due ID is a unique ID in our form as well. So if we'll come here, stock due ID, we are already capturing. So that's why we will do that. So we'll say stock due ID equal, and then we'll say ampersand me dot stock due ID. So now we have pointed to the record that we want to update. Once we pointed to record, now we can write the code to actually make the update. So we'll say rsdue dot edit, and then rsdue dot update. So right here, we are going to write the if and else condition. So we will say if me dot quantity in equals to rs due exclamation mark quantity due. That's the name of the field in the table. So we'll confirm that. If we'll come to stock due t, quantity due is the name of the field. And if that's the case, then we will say rs due exclamation mark status, it should be marked as completed. Great. And what if, oh, there's a problem here. Thank you. I've noticed it. Otherwise, it would give me a big fat error, right? Saying, hey, fix this. All right. So now let's go ahead and let's have another condition. And the other condition would be I'm going to paste right here, but I'm going to use else if, right? So if else if meter quantity in is less than quantity due, then it should be marked as partially completed. Awesome. How about if it is greater than the quantity due? So we were expecting 3, that's the quantity due. We got 4, that's the quantity in. So what should be the status? As I said, we will still capture it as it completed. However, we will make another query to give an alert to the users, and to then the user can notify to the supplier. So that means we don't need to write another 2 lines of code. We can simply modify this. So we'll add this symbol here, greater than, and then it should work. That's about it. To be very honest, this is what is required to be done. Now let's quickly go ahead and close this as well. Like we have closed the rs update, we'll say rs due dot close. There you go. And then we'll say set rs due equal nothing. That's about it. I think this should work, but we will only find out when we'll test, right? Let's do debug, and there you go. We have another, we forgot to have another end if. Well, technically it should be not here, it should be right here. All right, let's do debug. No error. Now let's go ahead and test it. Let's close this, close this, close this, and we'll go to the dashboard. We'll go to this talk in. So this is the flow. So for example, I was testing we have done this in the last video, GRN completed. But if we look at the P002, if we'll go to the, and let's get rid of this just for the sake of testing purpose, and we will then check if the stock due table also get updated with this or not. All right, so let's close this. And now let me refresh, so we don't have that anymore. So let's double click. Let's select and click on update stock in. This is the flow. And let's say invoice supply reference number is possibly invoice number, and date received, let's say today, and the quantity in, let's have, whatever quantity we ordered, let's have the same quantity. Now you can see that this is also a problem, right? It should be visible somewhere that we have ordered 1 quantity, 3 quantity. So the user who are going to receive the quantity stock, they should also know that the order quantity was 1 or 3 or 2. So let's figure it out how we will bring that information onto this form. We're not done yet with this form, by the way. So we will after this we will look into it. So let's say we have received 1 quantity, and let's click on GRN. Click OK. GRN is completed. The real test is we need to check if the record in the stock due is also completed. So if we will come here, the stock due ID number 2. So that means we are going to look at this record in the stock due table. And right here you can see stock due ID is number 2, and we ordered 2 pieces, but we received only 1 piece. Now this is working. It says partially completed. This is the logic exactly we have written. So this is great. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to display this quantity due onto this form somewhere. So the user, when they are actually doing GRN, they would also know what they are expecting, and they would know that what they are getting. And also apart from that, I want to have, rather than the product ID, I want to have, let's say, the name of the product right here. And for that, we will convert the text box into a, let's just say, a combo box, so we can display the product name. Also, for the stock due ID, I would love to have the PO number. I mean, you can customize it according to your liking. And then we will have the stock quantity due also visible onto this form. So let's go ahead and figure out this code. Whatever we have done until now, it's completely working. It's completely fine. Now let's go ahead and refine this form a little bit. We'll go to the design view, and we will close this, and we will convert this this product ID into a combo box. And we'll come here, and we will give row source dot, and the row source it should be from the product, because we are displaying the product name. We'll run the query. There you go. 2 columns. Let's save it. We'll go to the format tab, column count 2, and the width would be 0 colon 1. So now the product ID should be, sorry, the product name should be displayed rather than product ID. Let's go ahead and test it if this thing works. So let's select, and there you have it. Now you have the product name rather than the product ID. Now, as I said, we will fetch some more information. So let's go ahead and let's make a little bit more change. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this layout, remove the layout, and we will, I'm just thinking the user interface, how the user interface will look like. Maybe we will give this information in, so let's say page header and footer, or form header and footer. Let's get that. And let's bring this button onto the header. Great. And maybe right here, we will have two text boxes that are showing the PO number and the quantity ordered, perhaps. So for that, what we'll do is we'll take the rectangle, and the rectangle or the option group. So for example, option group is fine, I think. We'll take this, we'll cancel, and we will expand this, and we will write here related information. Yeah, or from stock due. So the user knows that this information is related to this record, but it's coming from the stock due. So what information? Related information. We will have the two text boxes. So I'm going to copy and paste, and I'm going to drag these text boxes and bring them here. And these text boxes, of course, are very wide. So we're going to shrink the width a little bit. So instead of stock in ID, I would say it should be the purchase order number. Purchase order number. There you go. And this should be quantity ordered. Yeah. Okay. Let's do this stacking once more so we can have proper formatting. Let's do the padding narrow, and let's remove the borders and everything. Let's make it completely transparent. So this looks like not the text boxes, but the information that is being presented into this box that we are looking at. So let's do this. Okay. Does it look nice? I don't know. Well, we're not bothered about looking nice. We are bothered about the functionality, isn't it? So go to the form view. There you go. So we have this form, and it says related information coming from stock due, but right now it is empty. It should have some sort of information. Okay. So we'll go to the design view, and we'll come here. Let's make this. Okay. So now what we are going to do is we are going to have these two text boxes are unbound. So we're going to fetch the information from the product ID and the stock due ID, and we are going to present that information on to these text boxes. We are going to write 2 lines of code behind this button, because this button is used to open the stock in form. And so let's go ahead and navigate to dashboard F, select the create button, event tab, dot, 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 and here we are, and we'll scroll down right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to copy the statement right here, and we're going to paste and the stock in F. So instead of status, what we are looking at is, if we'll come here, we want to have the information in these 2 text boxes. The first one would be TXTPO, and the other one would be TXTQTY due. All right, so let's go ahead and type in TXTPO, and the column number. What would be the column number? Let's go ahead and see the column number for PO 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. And I'm going to copy, and I'm going to paste, and right here I'm going to change the name of the field, and of course the field is TXTQTY due. So I'm going to copy that, I'm going to paste here, and the column number is 10. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's the column number 10. All right, great. So that's how we are going to make sure that we will fetch the information, but we have to check. We will test it out whether that information gets populated here or not. So if we'll come here, we'll go to the form view, stock in, we select the record, click on update stock in, and boom, now we have the purchase order number and we have the quantity ordered as well. So this means the code is working essentially. So let's open this one, and let's click on update, And now we can see that P003 is the purchase order number and quantity order is 1. So if we will come here, because the previous one was partially completed, because we received one quantity against the two quantity, I guess, was ordered. And now let's go ahead and receive this INV 002. So that's it. Let's say this is supply reference ID, invoice ID, and we choose the receiving date, and we receive the quantity 1, and we click on GRN, and there you have it. So this should be basically, if we will go here in the stock due table, and you can see that this is marked as completed because we received what we were expecting. So that's how you build a mechanism to fetch the information, populate information. The related information is very important. Now, this is, I think, very useful information to have for the end user. Otherwise, before, we did not have this information, so the user would do the work kind of in the blank, right? So that's why we enhance this form. So I hope that you have learned something in this video. I hope that you have liked whatever you've seen. If you have, tell me in the comments below. If you can smash the like button, that would be great. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed. Hit the bell icon so you get notification whenever I upload a new video. And also, why don't you become a member of this channel, right? To support me and to support this channel. Thank you very much. And I really appreciate that. I will see you in the next one.